I was about to fall asleep on you.
Now I got caught up. I just I don't know if you've seen it on Instagram. I just sent you that Dave Chappelle.
Oh, you watched it? I ain't even watched it yet.
I just watched it.
How long was it?
It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I heard it was dope.
Yeah.
Hi, Gavin.
No.
That's my mom. She said, "What's up?"
Hey, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. How you?
I'm well. I'm well over here at my dad's.
It's all good. Yeah, with your nieces and nephews, family just growing, ain't it?
Yeah, they got me pooped. They out here.
Welcome to uncle status.
They out here.
Very wow.
Yeah, that one.
I know your mom's spoiling them to death.
She do.
I know.
She do. Danielle be spoiling her son. Boy, crazy.
I can't wait till this COVID break so I can get my grandbabies down there so your mom can teach them how to swim.
Oh yeah, she be looking for a reason to use the pool, so she down.
You know she taught little Sam how to swim.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Out here swimming.
Well, what's good, man? How they treat you at home?
Man, they tried to kill me yesterday. Tried to kill me the second day, man.
What they do?
They tried to sleep in the bed, man. I woke up coughing like when we was little. Full blown hacking, like I was about to die. Like it happened so quickly, like I was still asleep. They had to tell me to move. I didn't even know what was happening. It was crazy. I don't know, all this dust and dog hair.
Oh yeah, y'all packed in there too, nigga. So
our house is fucking dusty. Tripping, man.
It's like you lived here a while, you know? You just lived here.
bro, it's like so much space, bro.
To change the weather.
I almost died.
Bro, it
So
ain't enough space for niggas to move around to clean properly. For what?
Yeah, I've been trying to.
When we was little, we could fit them. We could maneuver. Like niggas too big, you be bumping elbows trying to clean.
Well, I used to be dead all the time when we was little too, though. When you think about it, how many times did we wake up in the middle of the night and had to get on the machine so I couldn't breathe? I thought it was me this whole time. It was the house.
Oh, we'll never forgive him for that.
Oh, he did it dirty. Oh, let me tell you how I did this yesterday. So let me tell you how I did this yesterday. He's like, "Hey, kid, get dressed." He's talking about this. He's talking about chili. He's like, "Kid, get dressed. We about to go get the stuff for this chili." So we go there. We get the stuff for the chili. We get back. He takes all stuff out the bag. He comes in the front room, looks at that. He's like, "So who gonna make the chili?" I'm like, "It's your recipe. You got the ingredients. What you mean who gonna make the chili?"
Yeah, he filed for that, man. Like, we say?
He burned the chili.
Man, I ain't burn the damn chili. The motherfucking. Shut up, Kev. I don't listen to this nigga, man.
Hey. Gas burning chili? That's crazy.
Man, Ron, it's a total. Man, don't listen to that bullshit.
Yo, hey, don't listen to me. Ask the people about the chili.
You've been on this earth 50-something years and you burning chili?
I'm burning chili though?
Bro, Devon, don't be listening to that shit, man.
How you burn chili? You didn't find out chili is burnt. That means you scraping at the bottom. Like,
Oh, it's
no.
crazy.
Man, I ain't got time to explain to your dumb ass either.
Wow, that's the way you talk to your kids?
He put it on the pot. He put it on the pot.
oh man.
It's pot.
Well, the flavors hit. The flavors probably hit a little bit. You got all the ingredients.
Hey, I ate the chili. I had no problem with it. It was everybody else complaining about the chili. I ate it. I had no problem. I ate the chili. It was fine to me.
You just passing the news.
Yeah, I'm passing news. People acting like they never had a little char in their chili. People killing me like they never had nothing.
You know they bougie, man.
Yeah, that was I'm the only one that ate the chili. Come to me, I'm the only one that ate it. I ate like 3 bowls of chili. I was mad he threw it out. I wanted some more chili.
Oh, y'all threw it out?
Half of it, yeah.
Oh man.
It burned chili.
We had brought up the wing story, and I was like, man, he's still tripping about this food. Chicken and waffles.
Man, that was so
Yeah,
foul.
I heard
Man.
about that.
That's crazy. Man. He had my mouth fixed. Like y'all thought
Wow.
I thought he was about to go crazy.
He big wild. He big wild, man.
Hey, y'all gotta go to the store to get the waffles in the frozen section. We just gonna throw this leftover chicken. Oh, we gotta throw it in the microwave for a little bit, but
Left the whole function for that. Left the whole function.
yeah, man, I had an epiphany, man.
What hit you, man?
I just realized I'm a writer, man. I just realized like it when I read the first book, I still don't. I didn't look at myself as like an author, even though
I just read stuff on. When did you get converted like this?
this just happened to be the outfit today. I'm not really converted like that. It's just
I'm like, wait a pause. I almost hung up on you when I noticed.
no. I do not care about football in the lightest bit. I can't tell you last time I watched a football
the
game.
other day. They haven't watched the game. Their car was balling.
I can't. And I'll watch like 2 or 3 plays and then I keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've watched as much football as you laughed at Kevin Hart jokes in the last few years.
You don't like that already?
Now he says he's unfunny.
He hasn't been funny in a long time, and I'm standing on it.
Spencer, like that, he don't care for Kevin Hart.
Listen,
But
Kevin Hart was funny. He was very funny, but now he's just not relatable. His whole routine is based on relatability, self-deprivation, a lot of physical comedy, and now he's too arrogant to make fun of himself, and he's too rich to relate to people, so he's just not funny. I watch a lot of comedy though. You know, I used to go to the comedy club like twice a month, so
yeah.
I watch a whole lot of comedy.
You don't love that Chappelle, man. He gets the science behind
Oh, I know I'm a love Chappelle. And Chappelle,
he cold, man.
Chappelle,
But even him, his skill set is just on a whole nother level with maturity.
It's a whole different brand of comedy. You can't compare the two at all.
But I was just saying, his first 2 specials are still my favorite. Like Killing Them Softly,
They're hilarious.
like
They still hilarious. You know, I was watching Chappelle's show the other day though, and a lot of the content on there is not aged well. You know, with like cancel culture. There was a couple things I was like, ooh.
well, you're gonna love that 20-minute thing on there because he talks about that.
Yeah. I know they pulled his show from Netflix since then. That quick, they pulled the show.
Well, but he talks about the reason they did it though. It's not what people think.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it right off it.
Yeah, I was kind of hyped when you watched it before because that would have led the conversation on.
You sent it to me, you said?
Yeah, I sent it to you on Instagram. But I literally just watched it like maybe like 20 minutes, like right before I called you. Or just did this.
Oh, that's why he was late. Okay. Yeah, I was straight about to go to sleep, but I was just go sleep on this man.
But yeah, man, I just realized I'm a writer, man. I was going to do a book a year. Now, my goal was to do a book a year, at least on Grayson's birthday.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure I can get out more. Like I follow a formula. You know, I follow the same formula. The formula gets better, especially with the second book. Like I really understand it, but
you know,
I just think back like
every time it should be a little quicker. You know.
Yeah. So
how the process go?
And after going through that that 3-day workshop, which pretty much is like for coaches, the Markel one, the rapid growth one. I realized I can coach people on writing their books because I follow the same process.
Yeah, you know, you about to be on your 3rd one in a minute, right?
Yeah, I already low key been working on the 3rd one. I already know what it is. But this one I'm pretty excited about too. I think this is gonna be a banger. I think it's gonna crack them on the head.
You gonna hit him with this one?
Yeah, nepotism for dinner, man. So really get deep into like, you know, nepotism and just different things of that nature.
You out here right about nepotism.
Man, it is once you see stuff, you can't unsee it. You know how I go.
Yeah, nepotism underrated.
Very, especially in the black community. So that's
It's only a bad thing when we do it. They've been doing nepotism for years.
yeah, big fact.
I think the royal line is, bro.
Yeah, man. It was actually, and not against them though. Not against obviously white people do it here. That's America in itself. But yeah, I've seen this. I don't know if you've ever seen this post. I've seen it as like a meme or something, or somebody posted it.
I was out of hand with nepotism, boy.
But about like even like the Asian community. Like this dude. I think his name. It was like an interview between this dude named Mr. Chang and I don't know, some interviewer. I don't know. Interviewer's not famous, but the dude asked Mr. Chang though. He was like, how can, like, he was just talking about white supremacy as a whole, like how it affects black people and how it affects Asian people. And he was saying, like, can you address their concerns? And he said, the concerns of black people, yes, I can. The fact is that we all live under a system of white supremacy. He was like, but we as Asian people look back on our long history of conflict with the European. He said, we observe their strategies and we develop our own. He said, there's no need for a loud mass movement on our part because we plan to overtake them in time through action and personal sacrifice.
We gonna beat China.
So the dude was like, well, what about the black man? And he said, he does not count into our situation. He is simply here. We do not hate the black man. We just love it. We just love the Asian man most. It's like real love, not cliche. We want to see the Asian man happy, so we employ him. We eat together. We spend time together. We get our kids educated together, so we invest in our schools, and the children can learn like technical abilities, like to change the structure in their favor. It's like we want to see the Asian man safe, so we purchase and organize our own communities, which you see that all the time, everywhere, obviously.
They own our communities. What you mean?
Exactly. He's like, we want to see him remain Asian. He's like, so we reduce the outside influence of different ideologies and cultures. Which he said, while the black man fought to sniff behind the white man, the black man has had every opportunity and every right in the world to do the same, but he chooses to indict people like me for not hiring him over my brother.
I'm not taking that though. That's foul.
I mean,
that's foul. I mean, if y'all, I was about to
I think
racist.
I mean, it probably is. There's always a little.
There's a little truth to it, but if their people didn't get so sick when they tried to make them slaves, then it would have been a little different. It just wasn't a viable option for them because they kept getting sick.
But nonetheless, I just want to finish off the quote though. He said, he was saying he wouldn't hire Asian, or why he hiring Asian people over black people or whatever. But he's like, for me to do this will be foolish, and that will not be Asian love. In contrast, the black man will fight for the right to be up under everyone else other than black people who should feel the most love. If our indifference of the situation makes us racist, then what would you call the black man's indifference to his own situation? Which, I don't know, I feel like certain people that we follow, especially in like the entrepreneurial space, we see black communities coming together the way they should.
Well, I mean, it's such a mass movement. I feel like in the black community, just it's like self-education and coming together. At this point, like it's such a drastic. Like something that's funny. Like if you want to see like the drastic change in the black community, if you
I don't know how old that interview is either. By the way, I don't know. Like it wasn't recent. It's not something recent. But
it's not like he's up with what's going on in the black community anyway. So.
Yeah.
But if you just look at like a award show, you know what I'm saying? Like, remember how people used to dress when we were 10 years old?
Right.
Like award shows?
Yeah.
Like how crazy black people used to dress? Like white people wear the same thing. Like for the fashion changes, but like we was looking crazy at these shows. Like we just didn't look like we belonged. But now, now people they really dressing like us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the culture, like hoes.
Yeah. Like the
Like
dreads,
niggas
everything.
growing up now wanting to be like hoes.
That's the baggy jeans,
Yeah.
polo
like
shirts, the Rockefeller days. But yeah, it's just it's definitely a big shift. But I also think that's also to the internet as well.
Mhm.
I know you watch Earn Your Leisure podcast too.
Which one?
The Earn Your Leisure podcast.
Yeah, I try to catch it. I usually watch Market Monday like every Monday, like live.
I don't know if you've seen the one with 19 Keys was on there.
I didn't watch it. No. Was it just him?
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
But they were just talking about like how education is like digital education is like the new Harvard. Like everybody has access to it.
Mm.
So that's even what I was thinking about like with nepotism too. Like we send our kids to like these school systems that are built for us to go work for somebody else, and then the person you work for is probably some white dude up at the top. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like learning the skill and taking it back to the family as a whole and benefiting from that way versus like, all right, let me send my kid out to go get a good job and make somebody else millions of dollars.
But I mean, I think education is just inherently flawed, the education system, because it's like you remember that movie Ants?
Yeah.
And remember the scene, it's very early in the movie, and they just pop out the little baby ants, and they like, worker ant,
Yeah.
soldier ant, worker ant. I don't even know these children. And like, and I guess good that we definitely need more business ownership in the Black community, but also not everyone should feel the pressure to have to do that. It's okay to be an employee, know what you are, who you are, your personality, and what works best for you and your skill set.
Exactly.
And education should really start there, like getting to know the child, who they really are, and what circumstances will work best for them. This should be a very general blanket education to a certain level.
Yeah.
But then like around like middle school and especially high school, it should be a higher concentration and focus, like especially like what they're good at and what they can be.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
On to the nepotism thing, I realized like wealth not only gets in the community, but in businesses or even like just successful sports teams or some kind of club. Like there's principles, there's tactics, there's principles. And like tactics, I feel like school just teaches you, even families too, like they try to apply a tactic to say, all right, this is the tactic to getting what you want, getting the job and working for somebody else. Like, but there's tons of different jobs. Like getting the job is not going to make you wealthy. You can make millions of dollars a year if you don't know what to do with it. I mean, this still paycheck to paycheck. So I feel like wealth is built off principles.
That's fact.
There's a certain set of principles that should be passed down, regardless of what you're educating on. Because you can take any education or anything that you like, apply a success formula to it, and get it out. So where you don't have to work for somebody else, or even if you wanted to, you still can generate something that brings you an income. Or it's like writing a book. I think everybody should write a book, just because like that's probably the simplest way to make a passive income is writing a book. Once you know what you're doing as far as marketing or just setting up your webpage or whatever it may be, or how you're going to promote it. And that's what I learned from that 3-day event too. Like my main goal from learning from that was I wanted to know how he did his Facebook ads. Like that was my goal. So like I can take that same strategy and now apply it to my books and the newest one. Right? I didn't have this strategy for my first book I wrote. So now that I have a strategy that is a proven strategy, but like if everybody learned, what if every Black family learned advertising? Advertising's been around for years. Like it doesn't go away. The platform changes. Yeah, it used to be radio, it used to be TV, whatever it may be. But like skills like that last forever. But writing a book, like there's always been books. How long? What's the fucking Think and Grow Rich was written in what, like 1936 or some shit? And that's still one of the most, popular books.
That's like the foundation of all motivational texts. Like I feel like most of them reference that. And if you don't reference that, it'll reference a book. They'll reference that.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just like, but it's just like certain skills that I just think are like evergreen. So instead of like, I feel like as a people, we focus so much on like job security, or like, what jobs are going to be made in 2040. Like what jobs are, my kid's job doesn't even exist yet. Which, well, I think school teaches job security instead of, as a family and as a principal, we should teach income security. Creating passive income and stuff like that. So when you do go work at that job, you actually working at that job something you want to learn versus like, oh, this job pays this, so I'll take it. You know what I mean? Because I got this money coming in from a passive income. I wrote 5 books, so that's kind of my mindset. Like I know $5 in Facebook ads can get me in around about in front of a target audience of 1,000 people. Like $5. If even 1% of those people buys your product, or even if it's a book, say you got a $20 book, what is that? 1% of what? So that's like 10 people. If 10 people, you spend $5 for 10 people to buy your book, you got a $20 book. That's a $200 sale minus the 5. That's $95 profit. You know what I mean? And it's like, if we teach that principle first, of like before, then you can plug in any skill, any asset.
Just looking at money for what it actually is. It's not just always trading time for money. Now you can make money by your actual like effort.
So in my head, it's like, oh shoot. So the more books I write, the more books I can plug into that strategy. Now I'm creating multiple streams of income through books.
And that's the thing about it, because every book you're gonna get better at writing books.
Right.
So by your 5th book, you might not say you're trash. Say you're trash for 4 books, but you're hit by that 5th book.
You know what I'm saying?
You got bow, but then someone read it and they're like, bow.
Let me go check his other shit. Yeah.
They get a motherfucker. And they're gonna be like, oh, he trash. I'm not reading it, but they bought it. That's that 5th book. But they still gonna get that 6th one though. Yeah.
Plus, I'm constantly learning. The thing is learning how to take what I learned. I have a simple process too for what I write about as well. You have to find a way. There's 5 principles in the new book that I cover, because that's my main goal for the principles for wealth that I plan to pass down to Grayson, that I hope and plan that he passed down to his kids, because it has to start somewhere. You know what I mean? So instead of teaching him the same tactics that everybody else teaches, they go to school, go to college, get a job, and maybe work yourself up, maybe work up the ranks. I mean, you can still do that, but apply these principles, and that journey will be a lot more fulfilling, because you have this other set of skills or knowledge that brings you in an income. And also writing a book for myself, now I can create incomes for him before he even gets there. So I'm like, oh, all the profits from this book, this 3rd book I wrote, all goes to Grayson's whatever fund. So just using that money a different type of way, rather than just like, hey, I'm writing books to get wealthy. Like each book is a stream of income. So, but the 5 principles that I talk about in the book, where's my about notes here? So, and I broke it down. Each chapter is like a versus chapter. So it's like the first chapter is tactics versus principles, kind of like what I go a little bit more in detail than what we talked here. The second chapter is cost versus investment. 3rd is art versus science. The 4th is wish versus a goal. The next one is a thought versus an idea. And then the last chapter is a boss versus a leader. But pretty much in those chapters, I cover 5 principles. So the first one, everyone,
It's for the new joint.
Yeah, it's for a new joint. So everyone must pay themselves first. This is the principle, my first principle. Everyone must master a skill. 2nd principle. Everyone must have goals. That's the 3rd principle. Everyone must have at least one automated income stream. That's the 4th. And the 5th one is everyone must have a way of developing new ideas.
This is like the family?
Yeah, this is kind of like
You out here making family bylaws.
Yeah.
Got it. Can you run it back one more time?
Everyone must pay themselves first.
Right.
Everyone must master a skill. And it's not even, if you pay yourself first, you really don't have to budget too hardcore. Like,
I mean, if you pay yourself first, you know how much you need. So you got to have some kind of budget.
You read that Automatic Millionaire?
Nah.
That's because you're saying how people try to budget. They try. It's I have to go to my notes on that. I'll talk about it on another episode. I don't want to get too off track. But everyone must have a skill or master a skill. And that skill could be anything. Whatever you're into, you know, it could be building fucking Lego figurines. Like, if that's the skill you want to fucking master, just master that shit. But that's number 2. Everyone must have goals. That's number 3. Everyone must have at least one automated income stream. That's number 4. And number 5 is everyone must have a way of developing new ideas. And I go into detail in the book on how I came to these laws, or these principles, as I should call them for real. But yeah, man, that's kind of where I'm going with this. I'm getting into stuff.
Is that all in one chapter? That's like 5 chapters.
No, it's not very. It's like, I think this book's like 7 chapters. It's not that long.
The book like 7.
Yeah, it's not a super
Is each
long.
principal gonna get its own chapter?
Yeah. So that's what
What's the name of that one again? You got the name yet?
for this book. This is the Nepotism for Dinner.
Oh, you wild.
I am.
Wildin'. And nepotism for dinner. That's the catch. You gonna catch it with that one.
Yeah, nepotism for dinner, man. Table where everyone can eat.
You trying to go viral?
Hey,
that's different. You said nepotism for dinner.
Nepotism for dinner, man.
Nepotism for dinner. Oh man, that's gonna be the next caption on my IG. I don't care what the picture is. Nepotism for dinner.
Yeah, man. So that's what it's about to be, man. This one gonna crack them on the head, man. But the thing is, my writing process is like when I read a book or I watch a video or watch something to learn, you know, I take that and then does it make me think about something?
You take notes?
Yo, yeah. Like, what does it make me think about? Or does it make me think of a time that I could use this, or does it take a time that's something that happened in my past that I could have used this skill or this knowledge? And then I think, all right, would I want my son to know this knowledge? Or would I want my son to know this story? And it's kind of how I relate back to the storytelling part of each thing I write. And then I explain how it works. And then it's like, yeah, so from then on, it's just like because no information is, nobody's just breaking out new ideas out the sky. Like, you know, all information is shared, and, you know, knowledge is shared. It's all about perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So each time I read something, like, all right, I try to read like a chapter a day, or even like if there's something section in that chapter, I'm like, all right, what does this make me think about? How is it, you know, how can I relate this to something that happened in my life? And then write my experience based off that. So now I'm leaving little blueprints. Now I get to leave a piece of information that I learned for Grayson with each book. So that's, you know, he already loves books. So he keeps, you know, keeps him. It's my way of even going into his world with the connection of books. So he's keeping up that spirit. Now he's seeing himself on the cover of books. Now he's reading his own books. Now these principles are in there, and he's kind of like, plus obviously what I'm feeding to him in his ear on a regular basis. Like, I was teaching about cash flow quadrant the other day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, what they called it, constant integration. I think we talked about on one back in the day episodes. But yeah, man. So but it's finally just all coming together, man. I just had to put myself at a place where I can finally put this. You know, it was a lot to learn. There's a lot of information. Even from that 3-day event, there's a lot of information to take in. But I loved it. I experienced, like, it was, and I'm in a mastermind group from like a few cats I met at that networking. There's like five or six of us We get together every other Saturday, just like kind of touch base and stuff like that. So they'll definitely probably be on my podcast for a couple interviews. But it's like I'm loving living in that world. And now you're starting to understand and put together and realize I'm like, yo, I'm just an author. And if somebody need my help writing their own book, that's what I do. But like till then, I'm just keep writing books and keep writing.
That's an easy course for you to put together and just put at the bottom of the links.
Right.
Yeah.
And now with the targeting,
Yeah,
I can target people based off like the Facebook ads. Like I can know. See, I can go to like if I can get very specific with my person I show this ad to. So I can be like, all right, does this person read books? All right, be like, all right, well, is it a parent that reads books? All right, is it a parent who's read one of my books? Because now I can target them because I know they bought my shit because of the pixelation. You know them ads that like follow you around all the time. But that's something I learned in that workshop. Now I can be like, people who bought my book that might be interested in writing their own book. Now I can send an ad directly to those people based off what they clicked on my webpage or the video they saw. So it's like you got a winning formula. You can put any kind of process in. So I'm 2021, man. I'm getting geared up. I'm planning to have. I might try to do more than one book next year for sure. Honestly, now I think about it.
You might try to knock another.
Yeah. But I enjoy it. I realized what I enjoy, and I had to find a process that I can do it on a regular basis. And I finally locked that in.
Hey.
So.
Yeah, man, hit him in the chin, man.
Yeah, man.
Keep your foot on their neck.
All right, let me. I'm gonna pull up these questions here. A little rapid fire questions, man. Just see where you've been at lately. So the first question I'm not even gonna ask you because I know, but you do read a lot. Probably the only person I know probably read more than myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was there? I know for me, there was. I mean, especially like coming out of school, like when we're in school, whether it be college or high school or whatever. Like there's just a point where you're not. Well, at least for me, I wasn't reading. Like it just wasn't a thing I was doing.
I was never reading.
Yeah, but so when you started reading again, what was the book that made you really start reading? Like you?
Well, it was a couple things. It was a couple things that made me want to start reading. Well, the first book that I ever read and was like, this is interesting, was the 48 Laws of Power. And that's why when people ask me, like, what's your favorite book, I say that. It's probably not really my favorite book. It's a very low entry. It's like an entry level book. Like it's such an easy read. Like you can pick and choose what you want, and have like quick stories. Like it's a very easy book to read. Like you don't have to. It's not something you got to read because it's not in chronological order. It's just a list of laws and best ways of practicing. So the 48 Laws of Power is something I read that and I was like, oh, I'm learning something through reading. Now, and I only heard about that book because Drake had mentioned it in a rap song. So that came from music. I didn't really get into reading and learning. Probably the most important class I ever took I was in college and I was just filling out. I just needed some extra credits and I took a creative writing course. And I don't remember my teacher's name. And I want to look her up, but she was like this old lady. She smelled funny. I think she like lived in like the woods. No lie. No lies. Like she didn't live in, like she lived like off the grid. Like she told us, she lived off the grid outside the school year, and she looked looked like a witch. She was a crazy looking lady, but her class was so engaging. And we read this book called Retellings, and in the book Retellings, it just told the same story over and over. But it was stories you would know, like Red Riding Hood, Icarus, Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
But it would just tell it from like different perspectives of that story. So like it would just be like the first one would just be like Icarus. Then it would be like the person who told Icarus not to do it. Then it would be like Icarus's wife. Then it would be like his kid. Then it would be like some person just in a house tending to their field that saw him falling.
Yeah.
And it was just like different perspectives of the same story. And it just really caught me. And it just really caught me, and it was just so interesting. And ever since then, I just had like, it really sparked like the curious learner inside of me, and just that's really why.
I might check that out because I feel like I would like that.
I haven't been able to find it. I've looked for it a few times. I haven't been able to find it. Or it looks like I think it's like a style of book.
Because like for me, that's like, because that's kind of how I feel like my brain works. Like when the like just connecting those dots. Mm-hmm. Like, well, this person saw this because of this and this. So I feel like I would like that.
Like you wouldn't know the same story. It would just be like, why is he? What does this guy do with the other one? And it was upsetting me first because I didn't understand.
It's like the movies, like Crash and.
It's like that. A good one. It's a good Kill ones too, with like the three with Red Riding Hood. I don't know if you've ever seen that. When it's like the big bad wolves and like they just keep telling the same story over and over. It's a good one. I'm gonna look it up and send it to you. I think you should have Grayson watch it. I think you like it.
I wouldn't be surprised if we already have, to be honest.
I have. It's a good one. I like that one. But yeah, that's probably also when I fell in love with like suspenseful thrillers. It's one of my favorite type of movies. I don't like movies if I know what's gonna happen by the end. I'm just not engaged with them.
Yeah, I love me a good twist. Like you give me with a good twist. That's why
good twist can make a terrible movie amazing, like the others. I talk about it all the time. I'm sure you've heard me mention it, but boy, did they get me. That was the whole movie. I'm like, movie trash.
Yeah, that was good. Did that with Nicole Kidman? And
I think so. I'm like, turn this off. Like, why are you watching
in the house? And she is like, yeah, that was a good twist. My favorite one still, twist of all times. It's probably my favorite movie because of this. One of my favorite movies. I can't say favorite movie, but The Prestige, man. That was that got me.
You love The Prestige.
Oh no!
You would if you ever want something to watch passively, man, watch The Heist on Netflix, man. You'll like it.
The Heist?
Yeah.
Who's in it? Is this on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. I think it's a Netflix original, but it's a Spanish movie, so it's like kind of weird because it's English dubbed, but like the mouths don't match up, so it kind of look like a old karate movie.
Yeah.
But it has a dude on there called the Professor, and it's like who mastermind the whole heist, and you'll be like, oh.
See, I like stuff like that.
Yeah, you'll like.
You know, it's another good heist movie. I love a good heist movie.
I love heist movies, so you're right.
We should do a heist.
Right, cool.
Hey, the heist. Hey, just for shits and giggles. Unless the FBI is busting our crib and like, yo, what you...
Yeah, it's I ain't want.
It's for a game.
You want to do,
but Den of Thieves.
I hated Den of Thieves.
You hated it? What? I like the twist. They got me with the twist. They got me.
The acting just wasn't good.
The acting was not that great. I will say that.
Good, man.
But that I could look past that though. Like for me,
I just feel like I feel like sometimes a twist is just for a twist, and I feel like that was just for a twist. Like I just feel like nah.
I think
I'm not believing this.
I think the thing for me too is like when I watch stuff like that, I try to put myself like as the heister. Like so, I put myself as Ice. I try to look at it from if I was Ice Cube's son, whatever his name is. If I was that character, and I'm like,
O'Shea.
Yeah, the concentration and the strings to pull that together. So always going like with that perspective, and it just I'm like, yo, that's a dope ass plan. Regardless of how,
if he pulled that off, he a bad man. It just didn't seem likely. It was like, hold up. So you planned this, but you did this, but that mean you knew they had to have done.
Hey man, he do his homework, man.
Right.
He do his homework.
That's some real analysis right there.
I got another question here for you. I don't want to do that one. Let's do what would be your best tip for making the world a better place?
Oh, that's the easy one. people just need to have empathy, man.
That's my answer too. I can't even.
Yeah, people just don't have empathy. Like people just it's so impossible for people to see the world from other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
And if we did, it would make everything a lot easier. Like just have empathy, man.
That's my. I mean, I'm not even going to say anything.
Yeah, I can talk to anyone about anything, and for the most part, unless it gets too logical, because you know how I am with logic and just actual facts. But outside of that, just from like your own paradigm, your perspective, like I usually can relate to people. Like even people who hate me, like I get it. Like Trump supporters, I get why they're Trump supporters. 100%.
I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. I think people just don't look to understand just where other people come. Like, you ain't gotta agree with the shit.
100%. Like
I understand why you feel that way.
like for example, because you know I've been in California for like almost a decade now, and like it's just so different. Like the people's mentality is so different from like in like the coastal places.
Yeah.
Like the coastal areas to like the heart of the United States. So like the Wisconsins, Nebraska,
yeah,
Wyoming. It just the priorities are different.
Yeah, it's just different.
And they feel forgotten.
Yeah.
You see a guy like who you think watched his show. It wasn't people like you and me. We used to watch what is it called? You're Fired.
Right. Yeah. Dude, it still happens now. Like those you think of some of the shows some people watch, you like, I mean, I don't watch TV. I know you don't either. Like, you're not a big TV watcher either. Like,
nah, bro.
It's just
so much of that stuff. I just feel like when I watch it, because my girl watch all the time, and I be like, man, I just feel like I'm getting stupider right now.
And that's the thing, man.
It's
like,
funny.
That's why I like talking to you so much, because I'm like, man, sometimes I'll be like, man, my brain can't take this information that I'm doing, like this show.
Like we've been watching movies all day, and you could ask Bree, like, I got him to start cooking, and stuff was loud, and the baby was young. I'm like, man, I'm having sensory overload right now, bro. We need to chill. I need to meditate or something.
Good meditation.
My mind not working as crisp as it usually is.
Yeah, no, that's real stuff, man. That's real stuff. That's a good question for you. If you could remove all barriers and constraints for a particular project, what would you do, and what would you want to be known for by that project?
Barriers, constraints.
Like, just no limitations on that shit. Like, yo, this is what I want to do.
Man, just one.
I was like, we're gonna put your statue. He give you a statue for this one.
Man, you know, I'm just it would. I want to say funding, but I know the money's out there. Probably just the knowledge, like the knowledge, probably not even knowledge, wisdom. The wisdom from having like the knowledge and experience, and like just knowing how it works really. Because I really just want to start my own private equity fund. And if it could be centered around like helping the Black community, I mean that would be a dream come true. Like if the main people who funded it was like NAACP and the United Negro College Fund and Black universities was my main main partners in it, man. A successful fund like that, man, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I'd probably say the wisdom, but that takes time.
Yeah.
I mean, I forget every day how young I am.
I mean, facts.
I forget every day, and I'm sitting here watching Yahoo Finance the other day, and my mom just keep going like, "Ooh, they old. How old this person?" I'm like, "You right? These niggas is old. Like these niggas old as hell. These niggas is 80 years old and shit."
I think for me, And this is a vision that I still plan to, which is something I work. It's not actively working on it. I got too many projects as it is, but I would love to have like a center, like a basketball center, like for
community center.
Yeah, like something like that, but more geared toward where they can come work on their game, but they also can come explore other avenues of how they
can. That is like what Kobe had going, something like that, like an academy.
Yeah, something like that. But say they still, and especially I would like to teach entrepreneurship and creative, just finding your creative passion. So that way they can, when they do play basketball. I think so much like growing up, man, at least for me, and I'm sure you looked at football this way, at least at one point in your life. Like, I
still love it. It's definitely a part of me that still love it. Like I was watching the other day and I was breaking shit down like, oh, he ain't feeling.
Cause you understand it so well. Like that never goes away.
Yeah, I was surprised like how much shit I knew. I was like, what's going?
But for like growing up, man, it's either like you an athlete and make it to the pros or nothing. You know what I mean? I feel like that's still kind of the narrative. But like there's just so many ways to touch basketball.
There's also so many ways, just to be a part of the sport.
Yeah. Like it's like, I
do so much money from finance to business to
even though like, hey, I do basketball paintings, like just so many different things that allows them to be creative and I like the entrepreneurial aspect of it so they can monetize it. So now when they're playing basketball and working on their game, they're actually doing it because they enjoy it versus like, so it's not
all or nothing.
Right. So they're not like Anthony Edwards, like, I just like basketball. I didn't like it. I just do it because of my job.
Still with number one. That's Clutch Sports, baby. That's Clutch Sports, baby.
Clutch Sports, he gonna do a quick 5, get his bag and flip it. He about to flip that bad boy, believe you want.
Clutch Sports, baby.
Anthony Edwards ain't about to play more than 10 years.
If he play that many, I'd be very surprised.
He got to get that exit. He gonna flip that money, man.
Don't let him perform well and get one big check.
Oh, get that Joe Johnson.
Mm-hmm. Don't let him get one big check. Don't let him get one big check, boy.
But yeah, so I would like a place like that, man. It's really super sweet, like a chef and stuff on deck. A place where to hang out, man. And kids just can develop and be boys. Like, so I kind of just always envision like Grayson hanging out in a place like that.
That'd be tough.
And just
you've been talking about that for a while too.
Yeah, this is the vision.
Like the idea is coming more together though.
We had one.
I remember when you first told me about it. It was like more of a dream. That's more of like an actual concrete concept.
Yeah, and as I understand more what I really want from it, I was like where I can plug in the pieces. Like, oh, this is what it would look like, So that's something. That's the project I want to go for. If you could have dinner with any 4 people, dead or alive, who would it be?
Don't put me on the spot though.
And why?
I mean, that'd be tough because
it's tough. It'll be a different. I'm sure it'll be a different answer every day. But what are you feeling today?
That'd be tough. You said dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Everybody. Everybody that ever existed. Just 4. Just 4 for the day, man. Y'all better go get tacos. It's Taco Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I'll put it this way. Don't even look at it as like who you would. Yeah, who don't even do it. Look at it as like
Brian be there.
What 4 people would you like to put in the same room while you're in there to have the conversation you would always desire to have?
Shoot, man. I know LeBron be there. I think my man's name Robert Smith. He'd definitely be there.
Running back?
No.
You talking about dude used to play for Minnesota Vikings?
Oh, dude, name. Probably just messed up his name.
You do be messing up names. Nigga.
No, I got it. Ooh, yeah, I got his name. I was gonna be embarrassed. I got it. It's Robert Smith. Robert Smith would be there. He the dude a couple years ago paid the tuition for everybody.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he would be there. Brown be there. Who else I want there? I want Hove. Hove gonna be there. I got one more person.
Yeah, one more.
One more person. Shit. Do spouses count, or is that like do they get plus one? The whole can't bring.
Yeah, you could be. Hey, it's no rules. It's whoever you want. Is that for?
Would that take away if Ho brought Beyonce? Would that take my one away, or is that like he get a plus one? I'm just curious.
It's after party, man. You got a little man cave or something, bro. Y'all just had tacos. Y'all about to have.
Fuck it, man. I'm just gonna say Oprah.
Oprah, okay.
Oprah. I'm gonna tell Oprah to come through. Oprah, man. My man Queen O, Rob, Hove, Brown.
That's not bad for it, man. I think for me, all my people are not here anymore, which is actually inspiring one of my books I'm writing as well.
I was gonna do. I'd be thinking too much, and I was, and then I went down this rabbit hole in my mind, like of how we're gonna have to explain things they may not understand. Because times is different, they might mess up dinner. And what if they don't like tacos and they say something racist? And I know that shouldn't have been what I was focusing on.
Oh man, my man went deep.
Yeah.
For me, man, Kobe. Kobe would be there. Gotta have Nip. Bruce Lee, and the last was Muhammad Ali. Yeah, I would love to get those dudes in the room. Pause.
I was gonna say your boy, man.
Ooh, Mark?
He's gonna bring your boy out.
Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
Oh, which boy?
That'd have been a good one though. Mark. No, I'm mad I didn't invite Mark. Oh, I should invite.
I mean, you can have multiple parties, man. We get you next.
Yeah, Mark. Oh, yeah, Brian, you gotta go. I'm playing some Mark with Brian.
Hey man, he killed that video. That Shark Tank video killed me, man.
Oh yeah, Mark it. Mark big it. Oh no, I saw what to do with he like the Mr. Rogers of motivational speaking, man, with the voice, the white dude.
Oh, Jim Rome?
Yeah.
That is my guy, man. That is my dude. I still listen to Jim Rome like at least every other day.
He be going.
Hey man, he be spitting.
He be going, man. It's the tone for me though. The tone be getting me.
Bro, cause real talk, man, like that seminar, even like going back to the book, I didn't even say the book that made me really start reading again. The book that made me start like really reading again was actually Relentless by Tim Grover, or is it Tim Grover? Michael Jordan's trainer, whatever it is. Relentless. That was like, and like around that time still, I think I had read Rich Dad Poor Dad too, and all that. Like those just really kind of changed my mindset, but like still that Relentless was kind of the book that I was like, man.
Tim Grover?
Yeah. Like, look at this, like the information in this book. Like, anybody else reading this? Like, that's how I start feeling about like the books. Like, we don't get them kind of books in school, but like when you go pick out your own books and what you want to put, I'm like, yo, is anybody else reading this shit?
Gang.
So that was like the book for me that really kind of took me back into like that pit of like just reading all the time. But Jim Rome, that seminar, like I forget what it was, like that 1981 or something like seminar. It was like 2 hours. And it was like, talking about like living your best life ever. Like, man, that just...
It might be the greatest seminar of all time. Real talk. That might be the greatest seminar of all time. He gives off so many gems. The niggas still say today.
Seriously.
Like, what's the book we were talking about? What was the book we were talking about?
Which
Is it
one?
like we thought was the Godfather of all self-help books?
Think and Grow Rich.
Was it that or was it Positive Reinforcement or something?
I was Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich.
That's
like
where he
the-
interviewed all the successful people.
Yeah, that's like the Think and Grow Rich seminars, man. He was going.
Yeah, he was like, I would listen to that thing. That's a 2-hour thing. I just put my headphones. I listen to that like 3 or 4 times a day sometimes. I just had that bad boy playing them. Like, it was just.
Hey man, motivation like hygiene, bro. Gotta apply that daily.
Yeah. That was like
My
that
niggas
one.
ain't doing neither.
That one took me off, bro. I was like, oh, I can't live this way anymore. Like,
But
and he plays just made the formula so simple, man. Like, it really, and that was like my biggest thing about him, man. He just put it in a very simple, as simple as I look at things, he put it in that way. Like, I feel like, as people, we overcomplicate a lot of shit. Was like, he just put down life in the simplest form, and like, people need to keep this.
That show you understand this for something for real. It's how simple you can make it sound.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, shoot, Coach.
Sidebar, totally unrelated. I just every time you say the Jim Rome dude, I think of Jim Rome. and I was thinking about him the other day, and I was wondering why I haven't seen him in a while. And evidently, he's like one of the highest sports dudes in the business, and it's because he's not on ESPN no more. He got bought out by CBS, and he on CBS getting all the bags.
Oh, he out here getting it.
He getting it. I'm talking about like 30 M's. Like he making players contracts. He signed a Supermax.
Hold up. All right, I got 2 more questions.
Yeah, do
Then we can wrap this up.
it. Bucks out the East.
Here's a good question for you. What superpower do you feel you have? Not necessarily, obviously, not no, DC comic Marvel superpower, but
Yeah, I definitely feel like I have the superpower of empathy. I know we were talking about it earlier, but like I can't take like I do this all day with myself. Like I'll be like, why would they do that? That's stupid. Like, well, actually, they probably did it because and this, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair. And
yeah,
then like people be mad, and I'll be like, well, if you look at it this way,
empathy is literally what changed. I mean, it made me change the way I watch sports, man. Like, and that's. I mean, it changed a lot of things, but like I can use sports because that's the easiest one to relate to. But it just changed the way I watched anything. It goes back to like we were talking about like with the stand-up comedy, man. Like I don't tune into anything anymore. I don't put the responsibility of someone else to impress me. Versus like no matter how good or well known they are for their said skill or said talent, like I never look. I feel like it's not their job to impress me. I look forward to the times
I know. I get the message you sent.
But even in basketball too, like
you spitting. That's a deep message you spitting. But as a purveyor of comedy, I cannot tolerate that.
Then it's fair. Hey, empathy. I understand why you feel that way.
Yeah.
I don't expect everybody to. I know I look at the world through a very
my guilty pleasures. I don't, but I like comedy so much. I don't even like seeing comedy when people blow up. That's why I go to comedy clubs and and I'm in there when they hungry. Like they need a check. They gotta be funny. They gotta be funny. That's the type of comedy I like.
No, that's fair. I had some of my hardest laughs at the little local comedy clubs, man. It's an experience. That experience is live.
I don't understand when I went to the comedy club and people like, who you go see? And I'm like, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know because I didn't go to a show. I didn't pay $100 for this ticket. I paid $15.
Right.
Yeah.
I mess with that. All right. Mine for me, for our superpowers, man, I think it's just the ability to connect.
I gotta take that test you sent me.
Oh yeah, do that for sure. That's,
Yeah, because really, it's probably not even. Because low key, it's probably not even empathy. It's probably just I'm just super analytical. Like it just that's why it just take me so long to process information. Like, cause I just take everything in. I just really think about it.
Yeah, definitely take that, man.
I'm gonna do that and watch David as soon as we get off here, man.
All right, yeah, because I want to read those on here, man. I think those would be an interesting topic to discuss.
Oh, I love those. Cause remember I sent you the one we took from my job.
Okay.
That one was like a 300 question one, so it takes like an hour.
Yeah,
that's why they really know you on that one.
Right. Yeah, and this one, I mean, this one took quite a little minute, but yeah, they got super.
It's like it took a minute. Yeah,
they got really specific on the details of like
that's a sign.
Results. I'm like, okay, I'm like, damn, y'all.
I need to see how.
I guess I ain't lying my answers either. I'm like, I must have been really truthful with my answers because this is spot on.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
All right, last question then. What superpower do you wish you had, and how would you use it? Now, speaking of this sense of like a real superpower, like.
Man, you know, I'm sorry to disappoint you because I know you want something deep, profound here. I know you do.
You don't have to be deep, man. Hey, you don't gotta impress me, guy.
I know. I'm not. I'm not. That's what I'm saying. But anytime I gotta be real to myself. Anytime anyone ever asks me this question, I say the same answer and I stand by it. I would be like Majin Buu and I would turn niggas into candy. That's it. Well, what are you gonna do? How you gonna combat me turning you into candy?
Wow.
Easy money, B.
All right, I was definitely not expecting that one.
I know you wasn't. I smacked that ass and I got a treat, man.
So you just out here fighting niggas on a regular basis, turning into candy?
Majin Buu, the fat Buu can. I think he hasn't done it in a while. I think they nerfed it. But at first, he was definitely turning niggas into candy. When he first,
I remember that. I remember he was. I'm just saying, like.
I think they got too strong for him to turn into candy eventually. That's how they combated it. Because it was definitely OP. It was an overpowered move. You cannot combat a nigga turning you into candy.
And eat you.
Yeah. You digested, man. I'm not even a cannibal because you candy now. I changed you on a molecular level.
That's wild. For me,
but if not that, it would just be super intelligent.
Super intelligent?
Yeah, I had the big head and everything. I'm cool with it. Yeah, I'm cool with it.
I like, ever since I seen this, man, I just thought this was the coolest thing in the world, man. On Doctor Strange, man, when he was sleeping, but he was still reading. Yo, that was the most impressive skills I've ever seen in my life. Like that, if it's not that, it's like something like either super speed. But that one right there, that impressed. I was like, yo, that would be nice.
That is tough. Because he was already a genius.
Right. And now, the time you can save?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nasty. Like, how many books I can read while I'm sleeping?
God.
Did I just wake up, go apply the shit?
I go. That's a dick.
That's mine, man. But
yeah, you fuck with Doctor Strange. We done read Doctor Strange like 6 times.
I mean, cause that's the concept, man. I like it gravitates towards me, man.
I like Doctor Strange. You see that they got the new one supposed to be coming out. Well, probably push everything back.
Yeah, I did see it.
They was filming that new one.
Yeah. But all right, man. Well, I think we got some good shit out of this.
How long we at?
It doesn't say the time because I'm on Zoom, but I'll see.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it was probably at least an hour.
We go like
maybe a little longer.
It's been like hours. It's been almost
All right.
Like 6, at least 6:30.
All right, well, shit, man.
I'm probably left. It's quiet. I don't hear no kids.
I know. Go out there, everybody sleep.
No, your dad ain't sleep. You probably. I'm probably about to go to sleep. I'm tired.
But all right, man. I'm gonna get at you later.
All right, yo, guy.
Good talking.
Man.
Yep.